everyone. I hope you're doing well. Um, I, s- since the Lord wanted me to expand upon my previous video that I made about dying to myself, and in that video I was very generic, but He wanted me to be more specific in this video, and I feel like there's three distinct areas that the Lord is calling me to die to, basically. And so I was laying in bed thinking about that this morning, and I noticed a pattern that the Lord is using in those three areas. So He wanted me to just share those areas and my journey so far in dying to myself. And honestly, it's very painful. It feels like open heart surgery and feels like my heart in a way is being ripped apart, but I know it's the Lord is doing it um, for His glory and for for my well-being, even though it doesn't feel so good now. Um, so one area uh, that I am being called to die to myself in is friendships, relationships, but specifically friendships. And let's see, and I feel like so earlier this year, my I had this friend who I've had for about 10 years now, and she decided to just kind of stop being my friend. And that happened before even the summer, kind of late springtime. In fact, the last time I really hung out with her was on my birthday in June. And so, and I sensed the Lord telling me not to pursue that relationship, not to like try to reconcile or go after it, to just let it go. I kept on hearing Him say, let it go, let it go. And as you know from my previous videos and what I've shared, um, I don't really live near any family. My nearest family members live a 7 hour drive away from me. So I feel very isolated. And this girl was my only like face to face friend here in where I live. And so now that she's gone, I don't really have any face to face friendships. And um, I also noticed, although the Lord has granted me YouTube friendships and Facebook chat friendships, and which I'm grateful for. And I know a couple of you, I was almost going to get to see you face to face a couple times this year, but it didn't work out. And I don't think that was any coincidence. And it's like the Lord was getting me excited. He was convincing me that I was going to get to meet you and meet up with you, and He was getting me excited. But then for some reason it did not work out, and then it's like, oh no, um, sorry, not going to work out. And then and so it's just one area He would get me excited, but then it's like I had to let it go. And that's kind of the pattern I noticed He's using. Um, he would, uh, in these areas, get me excited about the thing that I was to die to, and then just pull it away and say, okay, now you must let it go. And so, another area in which the Lord is calling me to die to is basically my living situation, living location slash job situation. So, if you've noticed from my previous videos, it's no secret that I don't exactly love living where I'm living right now. And that includes both the city and the my apartment, which is overly priced. And I don't want to go on and on about the negative things about where I live, but just to say I just want to leave and move somewhere more desirable and closer to family. And so it's like the Lord reawoken this desire in me this past summer when He urged me to start uh, applying for lateral jobs with my career field. And so He really got me excited about this, like that I was going to move, that I was going to transfer, um, and I feel like He woken this desire in my heart, and I had always wanted to move, but something was missing. Like I was missing the initiative to just go for it. And so He gave that to me. But then, and then I remember I went on vacation this summer, and then I got back, and then He was encouraging me to clean my apartment and go through things because you'll need to once you move. And so I was going through my apartment, which it needed it anyway, and because I had a lot of stuff that I just needed to get rid of, and just going through my apartment and getting rid of stuff. And I was excited because I was like, okay, I need to do this now before perhaps I move. And then so I did that, and then toward the end of doing that, some job openings came up, and I applied to two different locations. And so, and then recently I found out that I did not make one of those locations. And um, in fact, the Lord had been encouraging me that I would make that particular location. And in fact, there was three job openings in that location, and it was what many would consider a less desirable location than some of the other locations. And so I thought I had a shoe in, so to speak. And I was getting encouraged, excited, but then I found out I did not make it, and I didn't even make it to the interview process. And then I called the hiring official because she offered to give me feedback. And based on that feedback, it's like I don't have really much hope for the other location, which is only has one opening and is in a more desirable location for most people, and or even future locations that would pop up. And just kind of like, Lord, why does this seem like an impossibility now? You were encouraging me, but now it seems like it would take a miracle for me to get transferred out of here. And it's like, again, the Lord was um, getting me excited and expectant. And then He said, okay, it's like He was saying, you must now die to that desire. You must give it to me now. And so it's just this past week, especially, it's like I feel like this whole dying to yourself thing has really been speaking to me. And so, and then the third thing has to do with how I feel like the Lord is going to use me in a powerful way, like that I'll have a strong anointing, and that I'll feel His presence in a big way, and that He'll use me in a powerful way. But I just feel like that's not really happening right now. I feel like He's more growing me right now, and that too almost feels like an impossibility, although I know He can. And in all three of these areas, I still feel like He's encouraging me it's going to happen, but to just not focus on those things, but to let them go. And it's like He's getting me. So the pattern was that He would get me excited and enthusiastic about these things, and then something would happen and it appeared that they would not happen. And then He was saying, just let it go, die to that desire, let it go, focus on me. And I feel like He's just telling me to just focus on intimacy with Him, and as well as being a blessing to other people. And so, and it's like, and He had me thinking, like, compared, even if I would get these things, it's like they don't compare to greater intimacy with Christ. They don't compare. And so he's it's like the pearl of great value. Like you're willing to give up everything for this pearl of great value. And that pearl is intimacy with Christ, is a deeper relationship, going in deeper. I mean, I already feel like I have intimacy with Christ, but I feel like he's calling me to go deeper. And so just to forsake all else, like it really doesn't matter, and just to go deeper with him. And so this whole journey, I feel like, is just even though it's painful, it's preparing my heart to see him. It's helping me to walk in faith, love, and obedience, and preparing me to see him, which is what it's all about, preparing our hearts to see the Lord, as though like walking every day and every moment as though we're about to see him, and having that in perspective as we think about and do everything. And I feel like he was really emphasizing that to me last night. Oh, sorry, it's still I'm still going through the process of dying to self, but I know the Lord has a good plan. And I want his will to be done. Even if I must die to these desires that he has given me, I want to please him above all else, and to grow in relationship with him, so that when I see him face to face, that I know that he will be pleased with me, and that just that this obedience of doing what he's calling me to do. And I want to grow in deeper with him above all else. So I'm saying, Lord, take it. Help me to let go of those things and to pursue you like you're the pearl of great value. And like those things don't matter, at least not in comparison to you, Lord. And just to go in deeper with him. And so anyway, I feel like he wanted me to share this with you. And so I really hope it encourages someone or helps someone in some way if you're maybe experiencing the same thing. I know that when my when my friend Emily, she stopped wanting to hanging out with me, I kept trying to figure out why, and the Lord wasn't giving me an answer, but I kind of got a new clarity on it today. Like, this could be why, just one of those areas where he wants me to die to self in friendships. And so we had to take that friendship away. I don't know, there could be other reasons, but I just felt like maybe that was one reason. And so anyway, just whatever the Lord is doing in your life, just go with it. Be a willing vessel. I just pray that over all of us, that we're willing vessels, that we are moldable in his hands, that he can use his refining fire on us to make us pure, to get those impurities out of us and to make us pure. And so I pray that over all of us, and that we purify our hearts before him and just focus on him. And so anyway, the Lord is coming any moment now, and I love you all, and I will see you in the air very, very soon. Bye.